Hi guys, in this video I'm going to explain Dockerfile in practical way. Okay, let us start. So first of all, let me see whether my Docker is installed or not. So for that, just execute this command. See, my Docker version is 20.10.7. okay, now create a Docker file. So in Dockerfile we have a lot of instructions. So with this Dockerfile I want to create or I want to run Apache server on my Ubuntu OS. So this is my object. Okay, so first we need to pull our base image. So to pull the base image from a Docker hub, we need to use a from instruction. Okay, from Ubuntu. I'm taking the latest version of Ubuntu. So with this instruction I'm pulling Ubuntu image from Docker hub. Okay, now I'm going to run this Ubuntu OS. I'm going to run this Ubuntu image. So after running this Ubuntu image, I need to update this Ubuntu OS, right? So for updating this Ubuntu OS, I need to use a run instruction. So this run instruction will be used to create a layer to the base image. So here my Ubuntu is a base image. In this base image, I'm going to add some extra layer. Okay, so whenever you use run instruction, this run instruction will add an extra layer to the base image. So here I'm going to update this with this command update. So apt-get update command will update the container. So from instruction will pull the base image. After pulling the base image, this Docker file will run this base image and it will give a container. Okay, but I want to update that container. So update that container, I need to give a run instruction and apt-get update command. So it will update the container. Okay, so next I want to install an Apache server in that container. Okay, so I'm installing Apache server means I'm adding a layer to the base image. Okay, so I'm adding a layer to the base image means I need to use run instruction. Okay, so now I want to install Apache server. Why? Install Apache 2. If you want to install Tomcat, then you can just replace this Apache server Apache 2 with Tomcat, or if you want to use any other server, any application server, like for suppose if you want to install Nginx, then you can just replace this Apache 2 with Nginx. So it will install that particular server. Okay, here I'm giving -y. Why I'm giving -y? While it is installing Apache server, it will ask our consent whether we have to proceed to install or not. It will ask whether you have to we have to specify yes or no. So when you specify here -y, then it will automatically consider yes. Okay, so we don't need to again specify manually. We don't need to type s. Okay, automatically it will take the s if we use this -y. Okay, so with this run command, it will add an extra layer to the base image. So that extra layer is Apache server. Okay, now I have added Apache, I have updated the Apache, I have updated the container. Now I want to add some files to the container. How can I add files? So in the previous lesson, in the previous video, I have given some instructions. I have explained some instructions like copy instruction, add instruction. We have a lot more instructions. I have explained in the previous video. So previous video I have just theoretically explained the every instruction. In this video I'm going to explain in practical way. Okay, how can we use these instructions? Okay, like that. So here we have a copy instruction to copy files from our local directory to our container. Okay, here we will get some container. So in that container we want to add some files. That files will be in our local directory. So for suppose I have given here a dot. This dot indicates that a local directory. So local directory means the location where our Dockerfile exists. That is our local directory. So in that location, if we have any file, that file will be added to the container. Okay, so here copy dot. So in which directory we are going to add? So I'm going to add in var www html. In this directory will be in container. Okay, in that directory I'm going to add my local files. Okay, now for suppose if you want to download any remote files, okay, that remote files will be, you wanted to save that remote files in container. In that scenario you have to use add instruction. Okay, so both copy and add will serve the same purpose, but the extra feature is the add will download the remote files, or it will copy the remote files to the container. Okay, so generally you can use both, either copy or add. So in this video I'm just using copy command only, copy instruction only. Okay, now I added some files to the container. Now I want to run this Apache server after running this container. Okay, so while running this container I want to run Apache server. So for that just we have to give command cmd. Okay, command instruction. So the command will be here apache ctl -d foreground. So this cmd will execute when the Dockerfile will create, while creating a container, this command will be executed. Okay, so it will not executed before the container. Okay, while running the container, this cmd will be executed. Okay, here we can use entry point also in place of cmd. So if you want to use, you can use here in place of cmd, you can use entry point. Okay, the main difference between cmd and entry point is here in the Dockerfile I have specified entry point. Okay, so for suppose if I save this Dockerfile, I have saved this Dockerfile and I want to build this Dockerfile. During the build time, if I give any arguments in the command line, then that arguments will replace this command. If we specified cmd in place of entry point, that arguments, command line arguments, will replace this cmd. Okay, or otherwise if I specify entry point instead of cmd here, so here I have specified entry point, right? So like this, if I specify entry point here in Dockerfile, and after saving this Dockerfile, if I if I build this Dockerfile, the command line argument, that a command line argument will not replace this entry point. So I'll show you that. So first of all, let me write this Dockerfile. So after writing this Dockerfile, I'll show you everything, how it will replace. So like that I will show you everything. Okay, so this is entry point. And now for suppose if I want to add any environment variables, so you can add any kind of environment variables here. Okay, for suppose this is my For adding environment variables, you have to specify this instruction env. Okay, so my environment variable here, I'm taking name. This is my key. Name is a key and ram is value. Okay, this is environment. Env is the instruction. So this is my environment variable. Like that, you can specify anything. So whatever you can specify any number of environments here, environment in instructions here. Okay, no problem. Even you can specify any number of run instructions, any number of copy instructions. Okay, depends on your need. You can specify any number of instructions. Okay, so also we have a lot of instructions, like if you want to specify a maintainer name. For suppose I'm the person who is writing this Docker file, so I want to give my name to this Docker file. So whenever you type docker inspect command, then this docker inspect command will give you the maintainer name who has written this Docker file, when it has been written. Like that, it will give everything. Okay, that is called metadata. Okay, so if you want to specify metadata for this Docker file, then you have to give a label. Okay, in this label section, you can give anything. Okay, like name, maintainer, everything you can give. For suppose just I'm giving a maintainer only. If you want to give anything, you can give. Okay, maintainer is ram. Okay, so I have given my name. Okay, and we have a few more instructions. Just I don't want to explain everything here. Just I want to give you a brief idea about Dockerfile. So this is the way you can create a Docker file. So I have completed a basic Docker file. So I think I can hope that you have understood this Docker file. So now I want to save this Docker file. Okay, so if you want to see Docker file, yes, you can see here. So I have given Ubuntu OS as my base image, and label is my maintainer name. Okay, and I'm going to add some 2 layers to the base image, and I'm going to add some source files to the container in this directory, and I'm going to run Apache server while running the container by using entry point. Okay, and I have given one more environment variable here. So here I have given copy instruction. So first of all, we need to have some files in this directory, right, to add into container. So for that, just we need to just create some files. I'm creating a HTML page here. You can give anything, just write anything here. Hello, this is my sample web page. Okay, so this is my index.html file. So this file will be added to the container because of this copy instructions that I have given in the Docker file. Okay, and anything else we want to add here? Yeah, everything is okay. Now I want to just build this Docker file. You can see here how I am using arguments here, and how this arguments will replace this entry point. Will these arguments will replace the entry point or not? We will see here. Okay, so I'm giving docker build dot, and I'm giving some tag name. Tag name I will give mymt15. Okay, and here you can give arguments. So first of all, let me run this file. After that I'll give some arguments. Okay, see, this Docker daemon will send the build context. This it will be sent to the Docker daemon. This build context will be sent to the Docker daemon. So after sending this, it will install. It will pull the base image from the Docker hub. See here, it will pull step 1 of 7. It will pull the Docker image. So after that, it will run every instruction here. It will add layers to the base image. Here you can see. Okay. So finally, see here, copy command, a copy instruction has been executed on entry point executed. Finally, we have successfully built the image and we tagged the image. My image name will be mymt15 latest. So you can see Docker images. See here, mymt15 is the image that I have given as my tag name for the custom image. Okay, this Ubuntu is the image that I have pulled from Docker Hub. Okay, I have given from instructions right in Dockerfile, so that from instruction will pull the this Ubuntu base image from the Docker Hub. Okay, so these are my images in my local repository. Okay, now I want to run this base image, this custom image, mymt15. For that, just I will give a docker run -itd and I will expose this port number. So my Apache will be run on 80, right? So I'm going to expose this port number to 90. Okay, and I'm giving some tag to the some name to the container. So my container name is for suppose taking container 1 and my image is mymt15. Okay, sorry, yes, sorry, I forgot to give hyphen before the p. Okay, yes, docker run -itd. Okay, now it will execute. Yes, see, this is my container id. You can see docker ps. This is the container id. This is my custom image. The command is this one, that is apache ctl -d foreground. Okay, it will run in the this terminal space. So in bin bash terminal space, it will run the command, and this is the command that I have used. Okay, it is created in 6 seconds ago. Okay, 5 seconds ago it has been run. Okay, and I have been exposed this Apache port number 8290. See here, you can see here, this is my container name. Okay, now let me check whether my Apache server has been running or not. So for that, just go to this IP address. You can see this is my public IP address. Copy this and paste it here. Now you have to give the export, just you have exposed the port number, right? So you have to give that number only, not 80, it is 90. We have exposed to 90. Now you can see this is the web page. That here you may get some doubt, because here in, if you see cat Dockerfile, here I have given instruction copy dot this instruction I have given, right? So with this instruction, my index file will be copied to this directory in the container. So that's why I have got this web page. Okay, so that's it, guys. Like this we can write Dockerfile, and if you want to again rebuild this Dockerfile, what will happen? Okay, let me just rebuild this. Okay, So now I want to rebuild this, so I will change the tag name here, mymt15. Okay, what will happen here? You can see here, in first time it will it has been take, it took a lot of time to download, to execute all the commands. Okay, but in now in the second time, just it it has not taken that much of time to run all these instructions. Why? Because in the first time it runs everything. Okay, it runs in every time. If you run the Dockerfile first time, it runs every instruction one by one. After running the every instruction, it will store the files in some cache. Okay, temporary memory. It will store everything in temporary memory. Okay, again if you rebuild this Docker file, that from that temporary memory, it will fetch the data. Okay, so here you can see it is using cache. Okay, so from cache memory it is accessing. Okay, everything will be stored in the temporary memory, so it don't need to again execute all the instructions. Okay, it will save the time. Okay, so that is the one thing I want to explain you. So, and again, if you see Docker images, see this is my latest one. Okay, and the size has not been varied. Okay, the same size. So that's it, guys. I have explained everything here. So if you have any doubts in Dockerfile, you can do comments in the comment section. I'll give reply to the every comment. Okay, thank you so much, guys.